Wednesday. I'm now going to record the after-school shiur. We're up to Chavdalet Amud Beis, and the Mishnah said, Peicheach, somebody whose legs are exposed, Peiris al Shema, is allowed to lead Shema, but he's not allowed to be Kaira Batayra. Boi minei Ula Barav me Abaye, we're at the top of the Amud, 2 lines from the top. Ula Barav asked Abaye, Koton Peicheach Mao Sheyikra Batayra. What about a child under bar mitzvah whose legs are uncovered? Is he allowed to read B'Torah? Maybe the indignity is only an adult whose legs are uncovered, but not a child. Amar Leis Abaye said, V'tiboilach, you could have asked Oroim, what if a child is totally undressed? Can he read B'Torah? Evidently, Oroim maitamalo, why if he's completely undressed, can he not read B'Torah? Mishum kaveret tzibur, it's just disrespectful. It's not an issue of whether the erva is an erva, it's just disrespectful. Hachanami here also, if his legs are uncovered, mishum kaveret tzibur, for respect of the tzibur, a cotton whose legs are uncovered should not be a koreh B'Torah, nor should he be a shaliach tzibur. We learned in the Mishnah Summa, Peiris al Shema, a blind man can lead the abbreviated tefillah. And Rabbi Yehuda said that if he was blind from birth, he can't, because he can't say Yotzer HaMa'orot. Tanya, we learned in a Braita, Amr lo Rabbi Yehuda, the Chum said to Rabbi Yehuda, why can a blind man not say Yotzer HaMa'orot? Harbe Tzafu, many people concentrated, Lidrosh B'Merkava, and they said Derashot on the first Perik in Yechezkel, which talks about God's chariot. It's Kabbalistic things, and they never saw God's chariot. So you see that somebody can actually teach about something that he never saw. You can teach about Mount Everest if you never saw Mount Everest. Rabbi Yehuda says there's a difference between teaching about the Merkava and saying Yotzer HaMorot. Hatam, regarding the chariot of God, Ba'avanto deliba talya milta. The thing, the milta, talya, depends on the understanding of your heart. And if you concentrate, you can understand and you can explain it. But Hacha here, the bracha of Yotzer HaMa'orot means Shem created light. Mishum Hano is because you benefit from light. Mishum Hanohu. And V'aletle Hano. And this person that was blind from birth never benefited from light. V'Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan hold that even if he's blind from birth, he could say Yotzer HaMa'orot. Itle Hano, because he does have benefit from light. Rabbi Yossi, as Rabbi Yossi said, the Tanya we learned in a Braita, Amar Rabbi Yossi says, Kol Yama Ha'iti Mitztar Al Mikrazeh. All my life, I struggled to understand a certain pasuk. The pasuk is in Parshas Kitavo, and the Tochacha and the curses if the Jewish people don't keep the mitzvot. The pasuk says, Vayita Mimashesh Batzarayim. You'll be feeling your way around the middle of the day. It's going to be so dark. Kasher Yimashesh Ha'iver Ba'feila. The way a blind man feels his way around when it's dark outside. What difference does it make le'iver to a blind man, whether it's dark outside or light? He can't see anyway. And I never understood the pasuk. What's the double expression of a blind man in the dark? Until one day, an incident came to my hand. I was once walking in the dark and in the middle of the night when it was dark. Bariti Suma, I saw a blind man walking on the road, Vavuka biyodo, and he's holding a torch in his hand. Amarti lo, I said to him, Bini, my son, Avuka zu lama lecha, why do you have a torch? I know you're blind. Amarli, he said to me, Kol zman shavuka biyodi, as long as the torch is in my hand, Bnei adam ro'anoti, matzilanoti, menapchotim. People can see me, and they can save me from the pits, menakotsim, from thorns, menabarkanim, from thistles. Which means that a blind man also benefits from light. Not that he can see, but other people can see and help him. So therefore, that's why the Rabbanan hold that a blind man can say Yotzer HaMa'orot, thanking God for the existence of light, because he appreciates that there's light for other people to help him. A kohen sheyesh biyadav mumen, a kohen that has physical defects in his hands, le'isat kapav, shouldn't raise his hands to do berachot kahanim, because people may look at his hands. Again, it's in those days where the Kohanim did not cover their hands with the talit. Rabbi Yehuda says, Af misha yadav tzvot satis, even somebody that's hands are dyed with like a bluish color, Lo Yisad Kapov should not raise his hands for Birchot Kahanim, because people will be looking at him. Tana, we learned in a Braita, Mumin She'amru, the physical defects that we said disqualifies a Kohen from doing Birchot Kahanim can be Befanav, on his face, Yadav, on his hands, Veraglov, and on his feet, because he needs to take off his shoes. But again, where Kahanim wear socks and where the talus covers their hands and face, it no longer matters because nobody can see them. Amr Rabbi Shiur ben Levi says, Yodav bo hakoniyot, if somebody has hands that have like big white spots on them, lo yisat kapav, shouldn't do birchot kahanim. Tanya, we learned in a Braita, Nami also hachi, the exact same thing. Yodav bo hakoniyot, if some Kohen's hands have white big spots on them, lo yisat kapav, he shouldn't do birchot kahanim. Akumot akushot lo yisat kapav, if his hands are bent, one way is like bent, like instead of the arm bending inwards, the elbow bends outwards, or upwards or downwards. So should not do Birchot Kahana because people will be curious about his arms and they'll be watching his arms instead of concentrating on the bracha. Amar Ravasi says, Chaifani ubeishani, somebody from Haifa and somebody from Beit Shan, lo yisad kapav shouldn't do Birchot Kahanim because they don't pronounce carefully the difference between an aleph and an ayin. Tanya, we learned in a Braita, Nami also hachi kamsa. Ein moridin lefnei hateva. You don't send up for a chazan to be a shliach tzibur. Lo anshe Beit Shan, not people from Beit Shan. Lo anshe Beit Haifa, not people from Haifa. V'lo anshe Tivonin, not people from Tivon. Lefnei shekorin le'alfin ainin, because an aleph, which the sound comes from the throat, they pronounce it like an ayin, which is nasal. Well, ainin, which is supposed to be a nasal sound, they read it as an aleph coming from the throat. So it's inaccurate. But the Mishnah Berurah says that today, when many people are not that precise and accurate, it's okay. Amar le Rabbi Chia le Rabbi Shimon bar Rebbe. Rabbi Chia said to Rabbi Shimon bar Rebbe, who Rabbi Shimon, the son of Rebbe, had a very heavy voice. So Rabbi Chia says to him, Ilmoli ata Levi, if you would have been a Levi, posulata, you would have been disqualified min haduchan, from standing on a platform to sing. Because mishum da'avi kolach, because your voice is too thick and too heavy. You don't have a nice voice. Had you been a Levi, you wouldn't have been eligible. Ata, Rabbi Shimon came, Amar le lavua, and told his father what Rabbi Chia said to him. Amar le, so his father, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, says to his son Rabbi Shimon, Zilgo, Eimale, and tell him back. Rabbi Chia could not pronounce a chet properly, couldn't do the chet sound. So kishata magia, when you get Eitzel v'chikiti lashem, which means it's a pasuk in Yeshaya Perik Chet, which means I wait for God. Chikiti with a chet. Since he couldn't say chikiti, he would say a hey hikiti, which means to hit. Lo nimtzeisa mecharef and megadif. Are you not then cursing God? In other words, some people have a defect, but you don't make an issue of it. Amar Rav Huna Zavlagan, somebody whose eyes are always tearing, pouring with tears, lo yisat kapav, should not do birchot kahanim, because people will look at him. The Gemara asked, V'ha hahu, but there was someone, Dahava b'shivavutei de Rav Huna, that was in Rav Huna's neighborhood, a Kohen, and he had eyes that were always tearing, V'hava paris yodei, and he did spread his hands, he did birchot kahanim. Hahu dash be'iro hava, he was well walked in his city. It's an expression meaning everybody knew. And since everybody knew, nobody was attracted to him anymore because he wasn't a curiosity. Tanya Nami Hochi, we learned this in a Braita. Zavlagan, somebody whose eyes tear a lot. Lo Yisat Kapav, should not do Birchot Kahanim. But Vim Hayadash Be'iro, but if he's very well known in the city, everybody knows him, Mutter, it's allowed. Rabbi Yochanan says, Summa, if somebody's blind, afilu ba'achas me'enav, even on one eye, lo yisat kapav, should not do birchot kahanim, because I guess his eye doesn't move and people will look at it and find it curious. The Gemara again asks, v'hahu, but there was one, dahava, who was b'shibavute de Rabbi Yochanan, in Rabbi Yochanan's neighborhood, dahava paris yadei, who did do birchot kahanim, hahu dash bi'iro hava, he was well known in the city and nobody looked at him. Tanya will learn in a Braita, Nami also hachi kamsam. Suma ba'achas mi'enav, if somebody's blind on one eye, lo yisad kapav, should not raise his hands for birchot kahanim. Ve'im, and if hayadash, if he was well walked, it means well used, be'iro, in a city, everybody was used to him, mutter, it's allowed. Dash is like when you walk on a path, it becomes well walked on. So they use the same expression. well trodden, well exposed, well familiar. Rabbi Yudah says, Misha Yadav Tzvuot, if somebody's hands were dyed, Lo Yisad Kapav should not do Birchot Kahanim. Tana, we learned in a Braita, Imrov Anshe U'ir, if most of the people of the city, Malachtam Bekach, they work with this dye, Mutter, it's allowed, because nobody will be curious to look at it, because everybody has the same thing. Mishnah, Ha'omer, if somebody says, they're asking somebody to go be Chazan, so he says, well, Eini over lifnei hateva, I'm not prepared to go be Chazan, bitzvuin, because I'm wearing colored clothing. Now this was some Gentile, some Avodah Zarah thing, that they would only lead the public if they were wearing white clothes. And this guy says, I'm not going to be a Chazan with colored clothes. Af levanim lo yavor, you don't let him go even in white clothes. I suspect that he's not really a Shomer Torah mitzvahs. Same idea. If he says, I'm willing to be Chazan, but besandal any over, I'm not going to wear shoes, I want to be barefoot, then forget it. It sounds like a Gentile thing. And af yochev lo yavor. We don't even let him go even if he's barefoot. We don't want him at all. Ha'isat tefillah agula, somebody makes the tefillin shel rush round. It's sakana, it's dangerous, ve'en ba mitzvah, and it's not quite a mitzvah. Again, there's two pshatim here. One is Rashi and one is Tosfot. Rashi I don't understand well. Rashi says that if you have tefillin that are square, so the bottom of it is flat. So if something bangs on your head, it's not going to harm you because it's a flat surface. But if it would be rounded, once it's rounded, it's already more of an edge. So if something bangs on your head, it may actually harm you or damage you. It's hard to understand the difference between the surface of something flat and the surface of something that's rounded. Tosfot has a different pshat. He says, when you're wearing tefillin, it can protect you. The way, if you know the Gemara, Elisha Bal Kanafayim was protected because he was wearing tefillin, but his tefillin were kosher. If your tefillin are round, they're not kosher. So if something endangers you, you don't have the mitzvah of tefillin to protect you. And ve'en ba mitzvah, if it's round, you have no mitzvah because it has to be square. Nesana al mitzvah, if you put tefillin on your forehead between your eyes, al pas yado, or on the palm of your hand, because you feel bein einecha is over here, or al yodecha is on your palm, harezu derech haminut. This is the work of heretics, that they disrespect the words of the Chachamim. The Chachamim tell us that bein einecha is up here, and al yodecha is on the upper part of your arm. Tzipan zav, somebody who covers his tefillin with gold, he thinks it's nicer like that. Or nisana al beis unkali shalo, or he wears the tefillin on top of his sleeve. Harezu derech hachitzonim. This is the way of the outsiders, who have their own ideas of what's nice and what's right. We're told that tefillin should be in black leather square boxes, and he decides he wants to do better in gold. That's his own idea, that's not ours, and it's not valid. Or he decides that everybody should see his beautiful tefillin shel yad, but we know it's supposed to be lecha leot al yadecha. It's supposed to be a sign for you under your sleeve and not on your sleeve. So this is derech hachitzonim, the way of the outsiders, the ones who make up their own ideas. The Gemara asks, my Tama, why do I refuse to allow somebody to go up to the Amud if he wants to wear white clothes or if he wants to go up barefoot? Because Chashinan, I'm concerned, Shama perhaps minut, nizr kabo, maybe there's some heresy in him. Heresy is like Ovda Avodah Zarah, and these Ovda Avodah Zarah would only pray wearing white clothes and barefoot. Also tfilato agula sakana vein ba mitzvah, somebody makes his tefillin round, it's a danger and it's no mitzvah. So tefillin can't be round. So lema, shall we say, Tanina, that the Mishnah is teaching us, lo de ton rabbanan, what the rabbanan taught in a Braita, that tefillin merubaot, that square tefillin is a halacha l'Moshe Misinai, is a halacha given to Moshe Misinai. V'amar Rav, and Rav says betifran, that the stitching, don't pull the stitching too hard because you'll destroy the squareness, or the stitching also has to be perfectly square. Uva alachsan, and that's a diagonal. In other words, you all know from geometry that if it's 1 on this side, it's 1.4 at the diagonal. So it has to be perfectly square, that is 1.4 times the side. So the Braita says it has to be perfectly square. And our Mishnah says that it can't be round. So seemingly it's saying the same thing. Amar of Papa says not necessarily. Masnis in our Mishnah, Davida ki amguza, disqualifies tefillin if it would be perfectly round. However, what would be if it would be like a lentil or oval shaped? Then maybe it would be okay. The Braita tells us not only is round not valid, but it can't be oval shaped either. It has to be perfectly square. The dafim are relatively easy. I hope everybody's good, everybody's strong, everybody's healthy. Keep it up. Keep it up and keep strong. Keep it up and keep strong. And let's encourage each other.